Hey guys, it's your girl Taya back here with another video. Today I'm going to just be talking with you guys, no tutorial or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to come on here and just talk about a couple things that have been kind of heavy on my heart, just in light of the recent chaos in our country that's going on right now with all of the killings, the BLM movement, and just talk about my faith and how I've been kind of coping with all of this. I know I haven't posted in a while. If you guys aren't following, of course, make sure you subscribe. For those of you that are following me, thank you so much. I do appreciate you guys following me. I love you guys and thank you guys so much. I really just wanted to just talk, just to come on here and talk, just to really do a check-in and see how everybody is doing, see how everyone has been coping with everything that's going on. I feel like this year has been quite a year. 2020 is, I still think it's a good year. Like, even though it's been a lot going on, I still really do feel like 2020 is a good year. It's definitely a year of change, I will say that. In the beginning, we had Kobe's passing along with the other passengers in the plane crash, and then Corona pops in, and that was like a huge global kind of thing that just happened in our nation. A lot of people have definitely been affected by it, but my prayer is that Corona is gone and we can start moving forward from this. After that happened, and of course Ahmaud Arbery's death, Breonna Taylor's death, and then everyone knows and probably have seen the video by now of George Floyd's death. I saw the video, and I don't know if you all have seen it or not. I would highly suggest not to watch it if you haven't seen it, especially, you know, if you have kids. I would suggest if you do watch it, of course not around them. I'm probably late now. I'm pretty sure most people have seen it. The news has had it kind of plastered everywhere, and then of course all the protesting and then all the rioting. So it's just been a lot. It's been a lot to digest. I took a little social media hiatus for like a week, and that was last week. And when I came back, that was when I saw all the different headlines, and I'm like, whoa, what is going on out here? Like, have I been living under a rock? I literally felt like I was living under a rock. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I just took a break because I just felt like it was just too much. Like with the whole Corona, it was just a lot going on. So I took a break. My condolences to all the families that have suffered loss during this time, whether it be Corona, whether it be the killings, the racism, the hate. It's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. Being first generation Nigerian, I don't know if you guys know that about me or not. I'm sure those of you that follow me probably do, because I've talked about it on my channel. It's a little different experience. I feel like I'm just different anyway. Just growing up in America, I've always felt pretty different. When you live in this country, it doesn't matter how different you are, you go through the same experiences. So I'm not immune to, you know, prejudices. I'm not immune to racism. I'm not immune. So I definitely have experienced it firsthand, you know, later, not when I was younger, or maybe I didn't understand it when I was younger, being, you know, African and everything. But I just always thought I was like different, just because my mom always, you know, kind of raised me the African way. And shout out to all my Caribbean and African and other cultures. I know you guys probably can relate to just having foreign parents. It just feels like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I'm American. But at the end of the day, regardless of all of that, we're all human, and that's really what I want to talk about. Is just, we're all human, and no matter where you are, no matter where you live, that video was painful. Like, that's just the word that I can use to describe it. It was painful. It was uncalled for. I don't think no human should be treated like that. Honestly, I don't even think a dog should be treated like that, if I'm being candid. Like, it was horrible. I really just wanted to kind of tell you guys how I've been coping and just share with you guys some of my the things that I like to do, just share my faith with you guys, because honestly that's the only thing that's really been keeping me throughout this time, is just having God in my life, having Jesus, just my word. I'm not a huge meditator. I know some people are, but I do like to spend time in my word. I like to spend time just talking to God. I talk to God a lot about a lot of different things, and definitely about this. You know, sometimes you feel helpless. You feel like, what can we do? You know, those of us that feel maybe like our hands are tied, those of us that maybe feel oppressed, those of us that feel hurt, those of us that expect more, we expect better. We're all human at the end of the day. It doesn't matter where you are, where you live. We're all human. We all bleed red, purple, whatever color it is. We just all bleed the same. We all have, you know, the same functions. God created each and every one of us with a purpose in mind and a calling. And so I feel like, if anything, we should appreciate one another's differences and not see them as something to judge, or not see them as something to discriminate, or not see them as something to demean. My little sister sent me a video about a little girl, and she was Caucasian, and she was talking to her parents, and her parents had like really bad things to say about people of color. And I just felt like, where do these ideas stem from? Like, what? Why? You know what I mean? Like, I look at people of color and I see greatness. I look at us and I see, you know, different shades. And I look at us and I see, you know, different hair textures and hair types. And I feel like God created us so different and so wonderful, but yet we see all of that as humans, and we take it as something that we should pick. And, oh, you got 4C hair, or you got 3B hair. We all are beautiful in our own right, and this is something that has been heavy on my heart for the longest. I'm tired of the, you know, the light versus the dark. I'm tired of all of that. I feel like we all need to get along. We all need to get on one accord. We all need to figure out what it is that we were designed to do, to be great, and just be the kings and the queens that God created us to be. The faster and the sooner that we see that and we understand that, and we stop allowing the news to dictate and to write our narrative, then the better we will be. Now, of course, this is going to take the world effort. This isn't just people of color having an issue and it's their issue. It's not just their issue. It's everybody's issue, because what happens is when people don't feel good about themselves and people don't feel like they have purpose, they become a problem to society. Regardless of how you want to see it, regardless of how you want to look at it, that's just what it is. I've always said when I was younger that if you don't have a goal, if you don't have something you're focused on, guess what's going to happen? Idle mind is the devil's playground, and that's just what it is. People complain that you know, certain people that live in impoverished areas, you know, act a certain way. They feel like they're less than. And I feel like, well, then help them. If you feel like people like that are, you know, beneath you, or whatever the case is, whatever these prejudices are, help them. You know, I feel like as people, we complain a lot. We say these things about people. Do we offer a hand? Do we offer help? You know, what are you doing to help them? You're complaining about them, but really, what are you doing to help? And I think that's really what I want to focus on, is just offering some sort of support during this time, you know, talking about the issues over and over without offering a solution just seems to be the definition of insanity, because we've been down this road before. We know what constantly continues to happen in our midst, in our country, but now it's time for action. Now it's time to pray. Now it's time to, and I'm not talking about pray like, oh, I'm gonna just pray and, you know, or we're tired of praying. No, praying is action. I'm not saying pray and do nothing. I mean pray, sign petitions, pray, donate, give your time, give your money. That's what I mean when I say that. I don't mean just pray and sit back and sing hymns. Like, you know, I'm talking about taking a proactive approach to these things, like not getting on Twitter or Instagram and just sitting there complaining, but more so getting on there and trying to figure out what it is that you can do to prosper as an individual, as a person. All of us have a purpose. All of us have something that we can contribute. Even if you don't have a huge following, I don't have that many followers yet. I have a pretty small platform compared to some other people in this whole YouTube game. But at the end of the day, I do have a voice. I'm choosing to use my voice to try and encourage people and to try to uplift one another. And that's why I started my channel in the first place, was just to give encouragement, because growing up, I didn't see people like me who had hair like me. And I felt like, well, why is that? And then as I got older and I started to read and I started to understand the things that have been put in place, I understood why we weren't taught, basically. That's why we didn't know. That's what I always say. It's not that we're ignorant. It's not that we don't want to do it. It's just that we weren't taught. I know for me growing up, my mom didn't really know anything about natural hair, and you know, I had to figure it out on my own. So I want to share the knowledge and the things that I've learned over time with you guys. And so that's really the reason why I started my channel, was just because I was tired of the narrative that was given to us. Later for all of that, it's time to rewrite the narrative. It's time for us to just do better. It's time for us to treat ourselves better. It's time for us to really recognize that there are good people out here. And you know, I'm not talking about like the cops that, you know, have been a part of the systematic racism. I'm not talking about people like that. I'm talking about like your neighbors. I'm talking about people that you may see on the street. They may offer a smile. I'm talking about good people that actually just work hard, and you know, they may not have a platform, so you don't know who they are. These are people that you probably live in communities with, and a lot of times they just kind of do their thing and they don't really maybe come on social media, so you don't hear from them. But I feel like no matter who you are, no matter what type of platform you have, you can do something. You don't have to be a celebrity to express how you feel and to make change. You can be one individual and you can definitely make change and affect change. And so we all have a responsibility. I feel like we all have some sort of gift to offer the world, whether it's a smile, a hug, whatever it is. If you write, if you sing, if you're creative, if you do IT, if you're into sports, whatever your calling, whatever you're blessed with, whatever your talent is, I feel like we should use that and we should put good energy into the world. Later for all of the fighting, you know, even within our own communities, when we are the change that we want to see, then we now create a domino effect of younger people and the younger generation that will come along. In order to see change, we kind of have to be the change that we want to see. Like I said, I didn't see little girls that looked like me with their natural hair. My daughters will appreciate their natural hair because they see that mom has natural hair or mommy has natural hair. So I think, you know, although we focus on the negative, and don't get me wrong, there are a lot of negative things happening out here, but I do feel like we should try and look for positive people within our communities and focus on that. My neighbors are amazing. I have so many wonderful Black people that live around me, people of color, different ethnicities. Shout out to my foreigners, my Caribbeans, my Africans. I have so many good, wonderful people in my life that I refuse to believe this narrative that the news is trying to paint about people of color, and just, you know, about just all these things that they're saying. I refuse to believe that. I'm not a statistic. I'm not, you know, anything that they're saying. I am an individual that I feel like I can make change, and I feel like I can impact the world with my voice. And even if it is just one voice at a time, one word at a time, whatever it is, I do believe that there are good people out here, even when negative situations occur. And don't get me wrong, it has been a challenge. But like I said, I read my word. I think about the things that God has told me about myself versus the narrative that the news is trying to put out there. I've always, you know, had dreams and goals and desires, and so rather than allowing the outside to kind of dictate what I'm gonna do, I allow what's on the inside of me to kind of come out of me, if that makes any sense. And so I challenge you guys to use your platforms, no matter how big, no matter how small they may be, and just, you know, do something positive. Do something positive this week, whether it's giving someone just a smile, saying hello to your neighbor. We all just have to do a better job of being human beings. I feel like the world is so filled with hate right now, but hurt people, and that's really what it is. Hurt people. And so if we continue to look at what hurt people are doing, then we're going to think that everyone in the world is hurting, and that's not true. Everyone in the world is not hurting. Everyone in the world is not negative. Everyone in the world is not a racist. Everyone in the world is not hateful. There are good people out here, and if we just give people a chance, then we will see that we're all created as individuals. We're all created differently, but that's what makes us beautiful. That's the beauty about God, is that he created us different, and it's okay. That shouldn't be the thing that divides us. That should be the thing that brings us together. Like, oh, I love Hispanic food. I'm not Hispanic, but I love the culture. I love the food. I think that's something to appreciate versus being like, oh, well, you're Hispanic, you're different from me. Like, no. Anyway, guys, I know I have talked a lot. I do have a lot more to say, but I really just wanted to come on here and just kind of just share. Comment down below how you've been feeling, what you've been doing. What are some of your coping mechanisms for dealing with times like this? We cannot be down. We have so much. We have a ways to go, but I'm confident and I'm optimistic about where we're going. I do believe that things will be better. I do believe that things are going to change. I have to have hope, because if I don't have hope, then what's the point? What's the point of getting up every day, filming videos? What's the point of getting up every day? What would be the point if you don't have hope? If I don't believe that the world is going to change, what is the point? How do I, look forward to my future? How do I look forward to teaching my kids and having kids? How do I look forward to all those things if I don't have hope? So I just want to encourage you guys today to just try your best to stay in a positive space. If you realize that you're watching something and it is getting into your psyche and making you feel angry, get off of that thing, because it definitely isn't a good look. Like, I know how it feels to get online and to watch things and to get upset. Like, I see the comments and I'm like, wow, people really must be hurt, because how could you think something like that? Why would you say something like that? There is going to be a change. I have to believe that things will get better. I have to believe that, it won't always be like this. And so I just wanted to come on camera real quick and just share my thoughts. I hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, leave me some comments down below. Let me know how you guys have been feeling. I am going to be filming some videos for you guys soon, so you should have that out. But in the meantime, you guys can watch some of my old videos if you haven't already seen that. There are just some people out here that do need a word of encouragement, and that's what I started my channel for, just to encourage people, just to find the beauty within you. Each and every one of us, we have a gift. Each and every one of us, we have something to offer. And so no matter who you are, you should feel confident, you should feel good about yourself, and you can use your voice, even if it's a little small voice, even if, like I said, even if you only have a few followers, there is something that each and every one of us can do to contribute and make this world a better place. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys stayed till the end. I know this video probably was a little lengthy, but thank you guys for watching. I love you. Talk to you in the next video, and you guys know what to do. Stay blessed.